the issue of kickbacks, I want to just point out that there's sort of a sniff test that I've learned as a healthcare attorney that you always have to use. You know, I mean, people come to me all the time. So what about this? What about that? What about this arrangement? Is that a kickback? Is that illegal? And you know, the law of kickbacks is very complex. I mean, especially in the federal area. We talk about the federal kickback statute. I mean, it's a very convoluted law that has somewhere around 40 exceptions, and each exception is about, you know, it's got 15 different elements. So it gets very, very complicated. But at the bottom line, I mean, for something to be a kickback in healthcare, it doesn't take much. And I think you just have to use a sniff test. And I think that sniff test is, or maybe it's a gut instinct, which is this referral, is it in the best interest of patient healthcare? Is it in the best interest of the patient? Is that's what's driving the referral? Or is it a financial incentive? I mean, that's the bottom line. If the fundamental public policy behind the kickback laws is that you don't want healthcare decisions being made for financial reasons. Simple as that. Healthcare decisions have to be made in the best interest of the healthcare for that particular patient. And that seems like a very simple concept, and but if you can't get your head around that, if that's not something you can embrace, or if you think that's a dumb law because the rest of the world, all other industries, kickbacks are perfectly fine and normal, acceptable practice. But if you think that that's a bad law in the world of healthcare, you probably shouldn't be in healthcare, because that rule. Actually, I say it's not really a law. It is a law, but it's a policy. It underlies not just the kickback laws. It underlies a lot of the other laws in healthcare. I mean, in California, we have a law known as the Prohibition Against Corporate Practice of Medicine, which basically says physicians have to have medical judgment. So a non-physician cannot own a medical practice in California. And the reason is because you don't want the medical practice to be making decisions based only on profit. It needs to be based on the best interest of the patient. So there's this belief, and maybe it's naive, but there's a belief or an assumption that the physician will always make decisions based on what's the best for the patient, based on his or her own medical judgment. Whereas a layperson is not going to be making those kinds of decisions. They're going to be focused more on what's best for the business, what's best for the bottom line.